Yeah, it's something. It's obviously early on in my career. I guess I wasn't really thinking about that, especially with how I played early on. But this year, everybody kind of knows where I stood. I knew where I stood, but I kind of wanted to stay within myself. I think like I said many times, anytime you start thinking about records, it takes you out of your game. So you start trying to force things to make things happen instead of letting it just come to you. And that's something Coach Mack has talked multiple times, said to me, take what the defense gives you and eventually they'll give you the game. I think that was a big part of what we did tonight. We were thinking dunking there for a while, and then we ended up taking some shots and hitting those shots, and playmakers make plays. So.
How does it feel to be able to throw the ball short or medium range and have a sharp range?
Yeah, it's a really good feeling to be able to throw a negative 3-yard route and take it 80 yards. So like I said, anytime I can get that hit the ball, I'm trying to do that, and that may be something I do try and force at times, but he saves me a lot of the time. Just look at last week. I threw a ball into triple coverage and he came up with a great play. So that's just a guy that I just try and get him the ball as much as I can because I know he's that playmaker for us, and he's helped us out a lot.
You keep waiting for them to play that tougher.
Like I've said many times, I don't know. Utah State was the first team that really seemed to be adjusting to him. He still put up some unreal numbers, but they were the first team to kind of really roll to him and try and double him. And then there was a couple times tonight where we had some in-game adjustments where their corner was playing way off. So that was when I just turned and threw the ball out there, and then you obviously saw what you could do with it. So I really don't know what to say, what defenses are doing with him. So he's just an unreal player, and obviously I'm beyond happy to have him on our side. So.
You played really efficient tonight. You played really efficient all year. Where is that coming from? Where do you give credit for that to?
And I give a lot to the coaches and obviously the players. Coaches are putting me in a good position to be successful. And then like you saw tonight, when I throw a 2-yard route and Richard takes it to the house, it makes my job a lot easier, builds your confidence, everything like that. And then obviously, I think last year, going back to last year at the Tulsa game, when I finally met with Coach Mack and asked him, what I should be looking for in film, how to watch film, things like that. That's a big thing for me when I asking that question. That's something I look back and that kind of changed the whole game of football for me because obviously I was watching film, but I don't know how much I was getting out of it. And that's something Coach Mack changed the whole thing for me. So.
How much more prepared do you feel out of that film so that you had in games this year?
I think the second half of last season going on to this season, it's a night-and-day difference with me being prepared, seeing pre-snap what defenses are doing, and then automatically ruling certain routes out because of what defense they're in. That's something makes it a lot easier when you can kind of just see a defense and say, okay, that route probably isn't going to be there, so you can go ahead and look the other way. You don't have to panic, look one way and then have to panic, look around the next, and so it's all been preparation. I guess the biggest thing for me, and like I said, I take it back to the coaches and what they told me last year. So.
Each week we're asking you what it's like to be whatever and one. What's it like to be 7 and 1?
Obviously, like I said last week, it's an unreal feeling. None of us have been here. It's something we're all very proud of. Coach Mack says all the time, you're building your legacy now. This is when you do it. This is how you're remembered. And obviously, we want to be a great senior class and lead this program going in the right direction. That's something. The way we finished the bowl game last year, that's something that senior class did for us, and we're just trying to carry the torch. So.
Have you heard from Moses Reno or Terry Nugent or Kelly Stouffer?
Terry Nugent texted me. He texted me last week and told me he couldn't be more happy for me. It's well deserved, everything like that. So that was a huge honor for me to get a text from and just take some time out of his day because he's obviously all over the record book. So for him to do that, it meant a lot for me.
Garrett, has it helped you? You've been on sort of a pitch count in practice since that Boston College injury. Has that actually helped you? It seems like you've been even more efficient in games.
No, I won't say it hurt by any means, but I think it's caused me to focus a little bit more. Going into practice, obviously, I'm not getting the reps, and so I have, stand back there and watching Nick go through and CJ go through. It's caused me to focus a little bit more on what the defense are exactly doing. Because obviously, when you're not getting the reps, you can miss certain routes, things like that. You don't get to practice, so when you do get those, 30, 40 throws that I've been getting during the week, that's something you need to be perfect on those reps. And so, I think, I won't say skipping reps or missing reps. I don't think it ever helps you, but it's definitely caused me to focus a lot more. And I think it may have helped in that aspect. So.
that shoulder still bothering you?
A little bit, but it's not too bad. It's gotten better every week. The first week against Tulsa, that was really the first time that it was still bugged me pretty bad, and every week since then it's been a lot better. So.
Ask Jim what it was like to watch Richard. It seems like he wants to try to hit a home run with every throw that you give him, and he thinks it's his patience that's helping us out. What do you see with what he's doing to defenders to make those big plays?
Yeah, I think he's very good at reading his blocks, things like that. Obviously, like you said, when I'm throwing the ball behind the line of scrimmage and he takes it 60, 70, 80 yards to the house, it just shows, we're getting linemen out there blocking for him. And he's very good at reading those, making guys miss, making a guy go left and then jumping around the lineman and making him go right. So it's kind of fun to watch those guys kind of spin in circles when he's running around. So it's enjoyable, and obviously, like I've said, it makes my job a lot easier when you can do that.
Do you feel like he's playing beyond a true sophomore's ability?
Oh, absolutely. Obviously, like I said, when I told Coach Mack last summer we need to get this guy on the field, he's going to be a playmaker for us. I obviously knew he was going to be good, do things that he's kind of doing, but I don't know if I knew it would be this good this early. So I've said it before, I'm very jealous of the quarterbacks. Whoever it is next year, I'm very jealous that they're going to get to play with these guys. So.
Garrett, what did you learn when you went to Peyton's passing academy, and how's that kind of helped you out?
The preparation, you always hear people say how much film Peyton watches and how he's kind of a perfectionist. And so being able to sit down there and go through drills with him and just, be within 5 feet of him and hear how he talks about certain drills, hear how he gets on certain guys for doing things, wrong. He wants everything perfect the first time. He doesn't want to have to do it over. And so, it's something I kind of took for him, and it's taken me out of my comfort zone because I've never been a guy to really, harp on people or get on someone during practice, but it's something I kind of learned from him, and I'm trying to do it the best I can. So.
You know as well as anybody what those game reps are worth. For Nick to get in some of these blowouts, how is that going to help him next year as he tries to win?
Yeah, that's it's huge for the confidence level. It's something obviously I learned my career early on, and it took me on in my sophomore year. I think anytime you go into a season and it's your first start and you haven't had any reps at all, there's you get a lot more jitterbugs, butterflies, whatever you want to call them. It kind of takes you take some time to calm down. So any reps that he can get, I think that's going to help him a ton in the long run.
All right, thanks a lot, Garrett.
Thanks, Garrett.